Hey, Jim, thank you for your partnership. So we've been doing this for we were just talking about it. I don't know if it's 5, 6, 7 years,
Yeah, exactly,
but
yeah.
I'm glad you're here, and we're going to do all we can to keep you on our team.
You're not going to get rid of me. It's like,
We're not going to get rid of you. All
oh
right,
no,
good.
we're
Well,
tied at the hip.
Good. Well, I just want you to know, and I sincerely mean this. This relationship means a ton to us. It's really special, and we're grateful for it. And we think it's a privilege. So I'm not going to belabor that, but I really want everyone to know that Christensen Arms, our partnership with Jim Shockey, is it's not about a financial deal. It's about who you are.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Right back at you too.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's about your character. It's about your integrity. And I know one of the things that we had an opportunity to talk a little bit about yesterday is, accomplishments are not deniable. Whether they're good or bad, they're not deniable. And we love your accomplishments. We're just excited. So we're pumped about 2024.
Yep.
We're excited to be doing something with you in 2024. And the first thing I want to talk about, and this is like completely not scripted, I have not had an opportunity to read your book. And I know. I'm sorry.
Where's my team? Why does he not have a book?
I don't have
audio, digital, hard copy.
I don't have a book, but I can't wait to read it. I promise you I'm going to start it like on the plane ride home here from SHOT Show. But I can't. But will you tell me a little bit about like the book and the inspiration, the motivation, and kind of what brought it on? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I grew up in a trailer park, so we had no money, and I realized at an early age that that's not what I wanted to do. So I started reading, and that took me around the world.
Yeah.
At 10, the age of 10, I knew I would be a novelist someday, and I would own a museum of natural history and cultural arts. So I had National Geographic from the library, and I could go, I'm going to go here, and here. So I started collecting seashells, insects, pretty rocks, fishing lures, because they were free, and I started writing my first novel, my novel. And I realized at 10
As a young man.
Yeah, I didn't have the skills. I could collect for the museum, but I needed to live life. Yeah. So you can write a novel two ways. You can go to university and come out a literature major and start writing and then make enough money to live a life.
Yeah.
Or you can live life and have the experiences to write a novel. And I didn't care about the money at that point. So I actually penned the first.
So were you journaling? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but were you journaling? Like, have you been journaling for a long time, or is this all just up here?
No. My Africa journals alone are over 1 million words. So that's just Africa. There, Asia, North America, South Pacific, Europe.
Yeah.
So it's, I've documented because I knew I'd be a novelist, and I wanted to. The travel was really important to me, the experiences. But I penned the first lines. Zhivago is dead. I hunted him down and I killed him in 1996.
Okay.
And I started writing the rest of that chapter, and I actually had to sit and look in the mirror and say, you haven't lived life enough yet, even at that age.
Okay.
So I said, okay, and I put it down. And I waited another 25 years before I picked it up again. And Zhivago was dead. I hunted him down and I killed him. And then I just kept going.
So it came to you.
Yeah, because I'd lived enough that now I had something. I had a story to tell. And this is my story.
So did you have a favorite place to write? I mean, was there like a place in your house where you sat, or were you doing it on the road, or how did that work?
No, it's tougher for me to write on the road. I need to have my music, and I need to have my view out over the lake and the ducks and the deer and the bears, and they all walk across in front of me as I'm writing, so I sit in my office, but it's a pretty nice office.
How long did it take you? I mean, obviously 96 you wrote your first words, but let's fast forward to when you really got after it.
Once I sat down and started writing, it was a 6-month project.
Okay. 6
months every day. I get up at 5, right until noon, go golfing or some kind of exercise.
Yeah.
And then I might write a couple, 3 more hours at night, but it was every single day.
Every day.
Yeah, because otherwise you can stretch it out. I already spent a lifetime waiting to write it, so I wasn't going to make it wait until by I don't know, going watching a football game. I just would
Well,
do
the reviews have been fantastic. Everyone loves the book. We just had a privilege to give many copies that you were kind enough to sign for a bunch of our Christensen Arms fans and Jim Shockey fans. And by the way, it's pretty cool that we have the same fans. I think you have a global reach that's far bigger than ours, but it really, I love that this is something where there's alignment with people that like our brand and obviously respect you and what you're about. But it's fun watching people stand in line. You're signing those copies and they're going to go read your life's work. But my next question is, are you working on your next book?
You know, Simon & Schuster bought this one, and they made me sign a 2-book deal.
Okay.
But they forgot to put on a deadline on it. So you know,
they don't realize that it took almost 30 years between
lifetime.
The first sentence you wrote until when you finished the book.
I've always seen it as a 3-book
trilogy
project, because that's my story's not done. And I left it kind of hanging. You know, it's not a cliffhanger, but there's definitely loose ends that need to be picked up in a sequel. So I have to stop doing this, which I love. It's my life.
We love that you do it.
Well, I appreciate that, but I need 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months to sit down and write.
So one other thing that is just something that I just think about when I think about Jim Shockey is this industry is massive. It's a big industry, and it's not just an industry; it's a community, it's a lifestyle.
It's a family,
it's
like
a family,
loose,
like
extended family.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that's in the hunting and the outdoor industry, we all seem really grateful for the opportunity to get outside and do what we do. But I mean, I think that it's all about the people and the connection that we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and again, I'm asking this with like complete sincerity. You have a chance to partner with so many brands, with anybody that's out there. And you know where I'm going, but I mean, there's hundreds of ammo brands and firearms brands and apparel brands. And I can just tell you, as having the privilege of overseeing Christensen Arms, I know that you're not choosing who you're partnering with because somebody's padding your pockets.
No.
It's about more. But what do you look for in a brand? What's important to you? And what does that look like?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, number one, the product has to be what I consider to be the best. And there's good products. I mean, there's good products out there, but it has to be the one that I personally, for whatever reason, it has to be a great product.
Yeah.
That's first. Then the company has to be a great company. And that means the people in the company. Life's just too short to associate with people that are
not alone.
Yeah, you just we don't have the same values, and that doesn't mean that they're wrong.
No.
It just means that my values are, I love honor, truth, the virtues that our countries are built on.
Yeah.
And when I see that in a company, and family camaraderie, that to me speaks volumes about the leadership, which I'm blowing smoke up your tail here, but also the value of that company in this industry. So that's who I want to be associated with. And I could go. I could walk into any firearms booth and probably sign a contract.
You in a second. It's funny, in specifically the last couple of years, I've had a lot of people ask me, they say, hey, you guys have Jim Shockey on your team. And I love when they say it like that, because that's how we feel. And they say, how do you get Jim Shockey on your team? And my answer is that we didn't get Jim Shockey on our team. Jim Shockey came to us. Right? You came to us. And it's funny, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and I had the privilege to build a bunch of businesses that got acquired a few years ago, and the guy that acquired the businesses is probably the most known investor business guy in the world. And people always say, how did you sell this guy your companies? And I always say, hey, I didn't sell this guy my companies. He chooses what he's going to buy.
Chooses, yeah.
But I think that it's really important, and I tell our team this, that we need to choose the way we're going to act and what principles and values and beliefs we live by, because we want to be able to attract the best of the best. Yep. And you don't always know who that is, right? And we look, it's hard to hire good people today in any business you're in. Going after and recruiting people is really hard, but behaving in a way that people want to be a part of your team,
that's right,
that's the game behind the game.
Sure.
The game behind the game is that, but it's the long game. It takes a while. So, we're grateful for the partnership. One of the things that, we've wanted to do. And I don't want to say that you asked us to do this, but I feel like there's been a little bit of a challenge of, you're a man of the people, right? You're not an elitist. You're somebody that I all the way from, a youngster that's coming up, whether it be a young girl or a young man that are trying to get involved in the outdoors, that love what you do, up to people that have been wildly successful and everything in between.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to me, you talk about how you grew up in a trailer park.
Yeah.
You're not a socioeconomic guy, right? You're not walking around trying to be flashy and all of that. And so
what you're saying, my designer Coco Chanel shirt here.
Hey, you look good. You look good, but you're not in here in a Versace or an Armani. So with that, our firearms, what we build are high dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, they're high dollar, and we know that, and we're mindful of it. And I'm telling you, we build every one of our guns by hand in Gunnison, Utah. And we took a lot of pride in it, and we don't ever want to do anything but that. But we charge a lot for it because, quite candidly, these guns cost a lot to make.
They're expensive, sure.
I feel like there's been a little bit of a challenge that if we were going to be a great partner to you, and you've certainly advocated to us that it would be nice if more people could own a Christensen arms rifle.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody can afford Ridgeline. They can't.
Everybody can't afford a Ridgeline. So they should aspire to have one.
Of course, and over time,
yep.
I mean, anybody that's listening, you don't necessarily need that quality right now.
Yeah.
But you can certainly start if you guys would build a gun that starters could actually afford.
Well, I am it literally makes me almost emotional to say it, but I love that we've been able to accomplish something that I think you're going to be honored and dignified by in what you do, and great alignment between us. But as you know, we released the Evoke rifle yesterday.
Yeah.
$898.
Which
you
is
can own a Christensen arms rifle, and it's not an entry-level rifle. It's made in Gunnison, Utah. It's our it's an absolute world-class barrel, world-class action. We are so pumped about it. I am not the most technical gun guy in the world, so I'm not going to go through all the specifications, but you've had a chance to see the gun. We have it here with us today.
Fabulous.
I can't help but to hold it because it's beautiful. It's got a fine Leopold scope on it. Our motivation to create this was really for the people that follow you and believe in you, that they can get a Christensen arms rifle. So do you like it?
You think? Yesterday, there's probably my drool still all over it. Yes, when I was holding it, going, they did it. They did it. For us, they did it for us. Which when you said elitist, you guys could sit there and build your high-end guns all day long and make lots of money and everything's rosy and cushy. But you're doing this for all of us that can't necessarily. I mean, I'm in a slightly different position, but now everybody can afford a Christensen arms, and there is everybody out there right now watching this going, I can get a Christensen arms. And we talked about it yesterday a little bit that it's not going to break anybody's bank. You got to save your money.
You got to save your money.
But if you're going to buy a great gun for a price that you could get an average gun, it makes and
so I feel like your challenge to us was that you wanted us to make an accurate rifle.
Yeah, it has to be accurate.
Has to be.
Yep.
It is attainable.
Yep.
Right. People can get it.
Yep.
But it's still aspirational. Right. It's still aspirational. I mean, we wanted to build something that represented not just our legacy, not just your legacy, but if you buy this, Christensen Evoke gun, it's a gun, and I'm not going to talk about some of our competitors that have been in business for hundreds of years, but we can think of some brands that, people are still passing down through generations.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think that's going to happen with Ridgelines and everything else.
But daughter, your grandchildren, it'll just continue down the line. Yeah.
So we were talking yesterday, you and I were about what are legacy items that truly pass down. People don't really pass houses down anymore, right? Back in the day that happened. But if you think about, my dad gave me, a gun that I believe was my granddad's that he got out of a Sears catalog. It was a .22 rifle, and we've refinished it so many times that the wood's almost gone.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about a Christensen rifle in this Evoke is there's no wood involved. It's going to last forever, so you don't have to sand it down. But it's a legacy gun.
Yeah, you're going to pass it on for generation after, and children are going to pass it on to their children, to their children. So when you actually calculate the dollar value of this gun, they're the best value.
About $100 a generation.
Yeah, there you go.
$100
no, I'm serious.
a generation.
Like this table won't be around.
No, this table won't be around.
This chair, none of this will be. We probably won't be around in 100 years.
Yeah.
But this will be.
Yeah.
This will be, and it'll be granddad, great granddad's Christensen arms gun.
Yeah.
That's got passed down through these generations. Legacy. I mean, it's a legacy, and you guys have now allowed everybody to own a Christensen.
Yeah.
So
listen, you were a huge part of the inspiration for that. I felt like you were challenging us to come out with something that everybody could have, and so we have it. It's accurate. We're pumped about it. We're here having this conversation at SHOT Show. The press, everybody that's come by has been like, this is going to be amazing.
I don't know if they've told you, I've already got 6 on order for my guides.
Oh my goodness.
So this is our new Rogue River guide gun, Pacific Rim Outfitters.
And you'll shoot with this.
Of course I will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, it's funny, we have a lot of our manufacturing engineering team here with us, and they were supposed to stay through the week. And last night at dinner, I said, I think you guys need to go back to Utah. We got a lot of guns to build, so we're super fired up about that. But man, I love your heart. I love what you stand for. We're grateful for this partnership. I know I keep telling you that, but I really, really mean it. And I'm excited about what we're going to do. I think you're just warming up. So I don't know what your plans are for the next 20 or 30 years, but I really do.
I told you, we're joined at the hip on this. So
but I think you're warming up. I think the people, one of my sons are in their mid-20s. One of their friends sent me a text this morning, and he had seen some press on you yesterday at the Christensen Arms booth, and he said, I've been watching Jim Shockey since I was 5 years old, right? And I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, this kid's in his 20s, and, he's excited about it. So you're definitely in better shape than I am. You work out every day?
Yeah, I did today before I came here, but when I'm on the road, I get to.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a hotel. I just get up earlier and go to the gym.
Yeah.
But when I go home, I don't go to a gym. I golf, I hike the mountain. You live outside.
Yeah.
And you're active. So that's all I do. And I have a problem with potato chips and Twizzlers. So I have to walk a lot of miles. I try and walk 12,000 steps a day, and every single day of the year.
So 12,000 steps a day is a lot. I mean, in the summer months, I get in a lot, but I mean, that's got to be 7
It's 7 miles.
7 miles.
Oh yeah, my steps. So it's I do every single day. Like not I did it once a week.
Yeah.
No, this is.
And
average.
you're doing it in some cowboy boots a lot, right?
I try not to. On these shows
here, right?
Yeah, on these shows I have to. Oh yeah. But no, I use hiking boots when I'm
awesome.
when I'm actually working.
I got one last question for you.
Sure.
When people think of Jim Shockey, and you've spent your life building your legacy and your family's legacy, and this is for me, I don't know the answer to this. What are the principles? What are the core values that you live by, or you try to live by, that you really, and again, people are going to know you based on your accomplishments and how you live your life. Yeah. And I really respect that about you. You're not a politician that's out speaking your words. You're just living life and being the man you are. But I think it's important in the world we're in today to, especially thinking about these youngsters that are paying attention. But what are those core values and principles that drive you?
The virtues, the honor, truth, integrity. Those are things that I would love to be remembered by, remembered for.
Yeah.
And I truly, I'm a gentleman, so I open doors for ladies. I'll stand up and I'll tip my hat if they come, to the table. I think that these values have been lost in a lot of the social media world. But I know they're still appreciated. So I try always to tell the truth. If your word is something you're born with, that you can keep your entire life. It's the one thing we can't keep our hair.
That's right. I'm evidence of that.
Yeah, but your word, from when you're born to when you die, you can keep that.
Yeah.
And I've always done that. If I give my word, I literally will die before I'll break my word. And these are honor, loyalty, the thing, virtues that.
Yeah, the virtues that you live by. You know, it's when you talk about keeping your word, I think something that's important is you shouldn't give people your word in areas where you can't keep your word.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're going to give somebody your word, make sure you're in an environment where you can keep your word.
You can deliver.
And things. Well, I got to tell you, I've watched you at this show. You know, we just had a book signing with you, and the line was 1.5 miles long. We didn't have enough books, but you really are a gentleman. You look at people in the eyes, you tip your hat
every time.
And that testimony you live by, I even pay attention. I'm like, man, that's pretty good. So I really appreciate the man that you are. Pumped about the partnership, excited about 2024, excited about the Evoke, and you've been a partner at Christensen Arms for several years. You and I have just gotten to know each other.
Yeah.
I'm just honored. So thank you.
Well, right back at you.
Yeah, man.
Your whole team.
I'm grateful for you.
You bet. Thanks, Rick.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.